I would like to welcomes you in this debate, the second global debate for the World Youth Movement for Democracy. And I would like to welcome our debaters here. Um, our debate today, it's about important issue for everyone. It's about election. It's about youth participation, and we have a sentence here and a question for our debate. And our question is, should the age of the candidacy be same as the voting age? We have affirmative team and negative team. Now I would like to give the chance for our debaters to introduce themselves, and let's start with the affirmative party. Surjana, please.
Sorry. Hello, I'm Srđana Milosavljević from Serbia. I work in civil sector. I work at the center, Children Creative Center Dreamland, in inclusion and as a supervisor for trainings and seminars and exchange programs. I live in multicultural region and multilingual region. We have 6 official languages, so we have a lot of work in inclusion, majority groups, religion, or social majority groups. My attitude is affirmative, and I have luck to get an attitude that is with me, and I have that opinion. I think we should give young people a chance. It's always when we have psychological or I don't know, philosophical workshops, we always have question why not, because sometimes you have to see that why not. And actually, young people don't like to be consumers of something. They need to be creators, because you have to give them chance earlier to be there, to find themselves important, and to have the opportunity to react and be part of something and have responsibilities. That's how you train young people to be responsible grown-ups, and when you have the good parts of society, they are strong, you have whole society to be strong. Also, young people should not be seen as a source of problems. They have to be seen as a resource of knowledge and ideas. Because
Well, if you can allow me, Surjana, here, just to mention that, excuse me, just if you allow me to mention that Simpson is here now from your team, and this time it's for for introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can introduce yourself again, then your team, then we can go to the negative team. Okay.
Okay.
You can introduce yourself again, then.
Okay, hello. I'm Srđana Milosavljević from Serbia. I live in Serbia. I study engineering management. I'm final year, and I work in a youth center. It's called Children Creative Center Dreamland. We work a lot of inclusion because we live in multilingual and multicultural region. We have 6 official languages and more than 10 nations that live in this region. So we have a lot of work in youth inclusion from lots of reasons, from normal schoolwork, from normal life, from normal inclusion in all parts of living young people. My arguments are based on when we have lots of psychology and philosophical workshops, we always have one question when someone has strong argument: why not? And that's why I think that why not? Why don't we give young people a chance to be part of something, to have responsibilities, and to have the chance to react and be part of something really big. And also, why not? Why don't we give them a chance and see what they did? Because on my experience,
I see. I see.
people,
You started the debate, Jana, but we should continue to introduce the other people. Then we can go to the
okay, sorry.
Samsung.
Well, thank you, and sorry for joining late. Had some network issues. Well, my name is Samson Itudo, and I from Nigeria, from that West Africa, and I work with a youth organization called YIGA. YIGA is a youth initiative for advocacy, growth, and advancement. And we work basically on democratic governance issues, youth political participation, and most importantly, we promote human rights and promote credible elections as well. So that's pretty much what we do. And we have been a partner with NEG, National Endowment for Democracy, for close to 3 to 4 years. I'm doing a lot of work on democracy, on our youth organizing school, and then we have a youth democracy and development journal where young people debate policy issues on how to scale up youth political participation across the continent of Africa. And I'm pleased to be here.
Okay. Ola?
Hello, everybody. I'm Ula Al-Haj Ali from Jordan. I'm 22 years old. I'm a volunteer at Success 21 Network and a presenter in Najah Radio. Currently, I'm studying for my Master of Religious Education. And my pleasure to be with you in this debate.
Okay, let's go to the negative team. Introduce yourselves, please, for the audience. Isam?
Hello everybody, I am Isam Sami from Iraq. I'm 24 years old. I am the CEO for Najah Center for Training and Development. It's one of the organizations that work in Iraq on youth. We are working to build and do a good job for the capacity of the youth, young people that I mean. We work to include the people, or sorry, the youth, I mean, in the volunteer work. So we work on more projects like Najah skills that we work on the capacity to develop and to change the culture that we have respected on the past.
Amy? Amy?
My name is Amy Berry. I am from Gambia, West Africa, and I currently live in the U.S. And my undergraduate degree was in political science, mainly international relations, and my master's was in business administration with a focus on social entrepreneurship. My goal is to find business solutions to the issues that developing nations are faced with, like political corruption in our political systems, and also trying to achieve economic systems in developing nations by promoting social entrepreneurship. And it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say.
Thank you. Okay, let me explain the rules for this debate for you, the debaters here, and for the audience. The format that we use it here, it's called Karl Popper format. Each of your teams, you have a specific time to make the argument and the introduction, and each team have the right to make cross questions for the other team. So please, when the time is finished, be commitment for the time. Before 30 seconds from your time finished, I will make a note for you. So let's start with the affirmative team, and you have here 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. It's interesting that we're having a conversation on whether or not age of candidates should be the same as a age or as a voting age. First, democracy is government of the people, for and by the people. And for us on this team, we strongly believe that inclusive politics is what the entire concept of democracy is about. Now, why do you have to wait for a certain age to vie for elective office when you are asked to start voting at a particular age? It is expected that the voting age, an individual, whether male or female, understands a political party manifesto, understands the programs of a party, or even the manifesto of a candidate. Now, the same capacity, the same knowledge that is required in determining who should lead you is also the same level of capacity that is required to also lead. So for us, we strongly believe that it is against the principles of inclusive politics, universal suffrage, to ask people, especially young people, to wait for a particular period of their time or their life before they can actually vote at elections. We must keep in mind that in the current recent U.S. elections, a young lady, Sarah Blair, at West Virginia, who's just 18, has just been elected into the Congress. In Africa, in Uganda, a 20-year-old Prescovia Oromite was the youngest African parliamentarian, and she's been doing fantastic. So we are of the view that to promote inclusive politics, you need to ensure that the voting age is same as even the age of candidacy. The other thing is the issue about the right-based approach. Everyone, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is quite clear, and the Covenant of Civil and Political Rights is quite clear that no one should be discriminated against or should be discriminated against or disenfranchised on the basis of their age. Asking young people who are of voting age to wait for a particular period of their lives before they can contest for offices, it's one way of granting them what we call partial franchise. And in the contemplation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, partial franchise is not just antithetical to democratic principles, but it's totally an abuse of human rights. So it holds no water whichever way to say that young people should wait to a particular age before they can be capacitated enough or perhaps qualified to be candidates of political parties. We must keep in mind that as a young person, you are very beyond the fact that you're ingenious, beyond the fact that we've got the energy, we've got the ideas. We must understand and appreciate the fact that young people, the youth age, though transient in nature, is a transformative period in the livelihood of a young person. And so, with all the energy, it is expected that when you occupy a leadership position, you're able to utilize that energy, you're able to utilize the genuity in solving the governance problems that actually confront us as a people. And for our team, we strongly believe and we hold a view that beyond inclusive politics, beyond the fact that it's also an infringement on the fundamental rights of citizens to ask them to wait until they have attained certain age. We strongly believe that leadership, it's not just an issue of age, because in the entire conceptualization of democracy, age actually holds no water. It's about your capacity. If someone who is 18, if someone who is 16, if someone who is 17 does have the capacity well enough to understand the party manifesto, well enough to understand his or her rights, or even in some climes, particularly in Africa, you have people who are even 18, 19, 20, who are married, who even have kids. So it is expected that they've attained some level of maturity. So maturity, to a large extent, does not even count, because most of the views advanced for the reasons why young people need to wait until they attain certain age is the fact that they actually lack the capacity, or they are not matured enough. Emotional intelligence or maturity has nothing to do with age, but it's got a lot to do with your capacity.
Thank you. You have one more minute. Hey Arthur, if you can introduce yourself, then start. Uh, okay. I'm sorry. Amy. Just Arthur, if you can hear, introduce yourself for the people.
Hello.
John, just introduce yourself.
Hello,
then
everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, Ola?
Yeah.
Ola, can you hear me? Okay. Right. First of all, allow me to apologize. For there were some technical problems. From this side, so we were just trying to sort out the technical problems. My name is Arthur Gwagwa. Work for Zimbabwe Human Rights NGO Forum, one of the largest human rights coalitions in Zimbabwe. But I'm currently based at the National Endowment for Democracy as a Ronald Reagan Facero Democracy Fellow. Thank you very much for inviting me to this discussion.
Okay, thank you. Amy? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree, even though I'm supposed to be on the negative, I agree with, the opening presentation that it is not necessarily about age, it is about maturity. But when you make a claim like that, then you basically expect everyone at a certain age to either think a certain way, or they're supposed to act or think a certain way. And for me personally, I support youth engagement in governance 100%, because at the end of the day, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But to what extent can you give the responsibility of national security, national development to an 18-year-old that is 9 times out of 10 probably just finishing their GCE or their A-levels or about to start college? To what extent can you give such responsibility to someone that's 18? And is it a realistic thing for you to do? I mean, we're not saying that 18-year-olds should not engage in the political discourse. You can give them responsibility by having them volunteer in campaigns, which a lot of people do. Let them gain that experience, because I mean the argument is that, well, they're not experienced enough. And that's where the whole divide comes between the older generation and the younger generation, because the younger kids are not experienced enough to run for office. So to what extent, I mean, is it realistic for you to say, well, I expect you to be mature at a certain age, therefore you can run for office? I don't feel like that is realistic, and it cannot be something, a bar that you set for everyone, regardless of age, because age is, like you said, age is not a
Arthur? You have 5 minutes to make your introduction.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Uh, the name is Oscar. I'm going to be, I've listened to their arguments, that have been put across, before, that the affirmative claim. But I'm not going to respond to that. I think principally, two issues here that we need, to consider. There's a question of, including the young people in the political processes. But also there's an argument that is, based in law and principle. Like, the international covenants and international conventions. But there are also other practical considerations and sociological considerations that we need to take into account.
Sorry, but I cannot hear author very well.
Steps to four, when we
Yes, I can hear you very well as well.
Okay, now it's.
You cannot hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Hear me now?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What I was saying is there are legal considerations, but there are also psychosocial considerations. First of all, the decision to vote or an action of voting is very different from the action of voting, because voting, one vote is only one small step. When we are talking of leading, because leading is a long-term decision. So once a young person is elected into office, they have a lot of interest. The education, they need time to grow, they need time to play with their friends. So if you put them into office and they what basically means is that they interfere with that growth process. So young people like the knowledge, they like the wisdom, and they like the maturity to make decisions which impact national politics. The choices they make can affect us all. But they like the large perspective and the worldview, which only comes with experience. We also need to know that they're young and they should enjoy their life. They should be out with children. So the decision to vote is different, is significantly different from the vote to have them stand as a candidate. There are a lot of examples that I could cite from my own country where young people enter into politics when they're very young, and they ended up making very bad decisions that were not only bad for their marriages, for their families, but for the nation. So, in my view, I would submit that young people should be given, time to contribute to the politics of their country in other means, say, voting or, volunteering, and, doing other activities that can enhance their capacity so that when their time comes, they can be good leaders. But when they are young, I actually think that just being allowed to vote is good enough. Thank you very much.
Okay, my cross question, I think.
Yes.
Okay, I did not hear very well because the voice was breaking out, but I can ask a question about volunteering in candidacy. How is the volunteering in candidacy? Yani we don't understand how the volunteering is. They say the youth can volunteer in candidacy, but how?
Is it your question?
Yeah.
Okay. If
Yes.
this is the question. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I have a different point of view because I work in unofficial education, and we have lots of philosophical and psychological workshops with youth. And all of you are talking about like when young people are candidates, like in a minute they will be someone responsible for lots of work, lots of people, and lots of money. But they don't. Actually, you have a whole process. I mean, in whole Europe and EU countries, you have a permission to candidate yourself if you're, I don't know, in Germany 16, in Italy 25, never mind. But when you have right to vote, you have right to be a candidate for politics, something. But the process is really long. In practice, the process, you have to be there. You have to be connect with all those people. You have to have something in your CV that you actually done before. You have to have really strong attitude to be elected. So if you candidate yourself and you don't have all of that, you won't be elected. You won't be responsible for something bad because you won't even get a chance to be responsible for something. Also, why not? We should give young people a chance, but the process before they have a chance to candidate themselves will elect someones who are worthful. They're not just they're really big resource of idea and knowledge and really new point of view. So why not? And steps to get elected are long, so you will have someone worthful. Also, um young people are the ones politicians are responsible now. So they don't have to be just consumers of politics and democracy and everything. They have to be creators. Because if you don't get a chance young to be a creator, even if you've done something wrong, you won't get a chance to be responsible for something big when you put your, I don't know, chance to when you put your knowledge to be, okay, I want to be someone responsible. I think I can lead people to something good. Okay, but only the idea will not get you far. There are steps and you walk on them really slow. So when you have a chance to create a bit and a bit and a bit, you will have really courage to create something really great for a lot of people. Not only, okay, I have an idea, but nobody will listen to me because if you don't give them chance early, I work in education, unofficial education, and we work with official government schools. You have to give them chance earlier, so further on they will have self-esteem to say something. And when you hear a lot of people saying something, some of them will say something smart, for sure. You just have to give them courage to be able to say something. Also, I live in multicultural regions, so we have to, from early age, to be open to other ideas from a lot of people from other regions, other religion, other social background. You have to be open for everybody ideas. You have to listen everybody talk, because somewhere, somehow, you'll manage to collect all that and put a bigger picture that is really good. And also, human rights. I mean, if you have right to vote, you have right to be asked, do you have a better idea for politics and politics in your country or region, or I don't know, the world? You have to, but the main point is education. We have to have a more organized education, official education. We have a lot of organizations that work in unofficial education and democracy and everything, but we need to include that in public schools, in government schools, in private schools. Because education is base for everything. If we have good education in every part. I mean, if you work in politics, you have to have knowledge of psychology, sociology, philosophy even. So if you have good education, young people will grow, and even if they're young by age, they could be wise and they could do something really beautiful. But really, you just have to give them a chance. And the process is long, so when they want to candidate, they might not be elected because of their age. We need to put that prejudice down, because young people have ideas and they just need to be listened. That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jenna. I would like to remind our audience here. There is a survey pool. We will, provide you the link via YouTube after the debate, and please, for your votes, vote on the team's performance, not about the topic itself. So now we go to because we lost here. I can't see Amy or Isam. Let's go to Samson with it's for your team. Let's go for another round for for no, not for your team. I think it's for Arthur. You can go ahead with 3 minutes. Another 3 minutes for your team, please.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, you can go ahead because Amy is not with us. I think she
Hear
has
me?
problems. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think that Somali is very poor. Did not hear everything that Jana signed. But
Yeah, but
the crux of the matter is
because the connection.
the difference.
Arthur, if you can hear me, the connection, I think it's poor. So if you can turn off the camera and be with us with the voice, because I think we can't hear you very well.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you properly. Would you be able to type? I think what sign?
It's just to turn off the camera.
Would you be able to supplement by typing? What
I can't hear you.
turn the camera?
Yeah. There is a button allow you to.
Would be able to want you to type.
Yeah, if you have 3 minutes now, you can go ahead.
You want
Go
to
ahead.
type instructions?
Yeah, you can complete your arguments. Please go ahead.
Do you want me to go ahead?
So just go ahead, please.
Would you be able to type your instructions, please?
can go with,
Okay.
with your.
Just to recap what I said. I just wanted to recap what I said before.
Yeah.
That,
okay, go ahead.
Act of voting and reading these are two different acts, because voting is you vote as a person. I think contributes only to contribute a small part. Whereas leading, once, because it's not just about allowing young people to be candidates, but once that particular person is elected into office, that decision has got long-term repercussions, because it means that they have to balance holding political office and a lot of other competing demands. So I think they are pure enough emotionally, socially, and politically to be balancing all those competing interests. Whereas voting can be done on the spur of the moment. But leading is very different. It has got long-term repercussions. So we can not confuse the two. Going to vote only maybe a few minutes to go, to vote for a candidate. But leading means that what we are doing is depriving that particular a chance, to grow emotionally, to grow socially, to know the world, to be a child, the right to be a child. So the right to be a child involves allowing children to be children. So we should be realistic or positive by quoting international law. So this is not only a matter of law. This is only a matter of inclusion. But it is also a matter of their sociological considerations, there are psychological considerations. If we don't choose to let the young age, we can actually damage, we can actually cause long-term damage to their own being. Because it means that I think we have given them more burden that they bear emotionally at a young age. So I think we should be very careful when we think of inclusion. It has to be incremental. Now I think children can do something very age. This is it is not even different from saying a 12-year-old child or 13-year-old child to start a family or a family. It's not different. If we don't allow our children to take decisions, why should we allow them to take decisions to put decisions responsibility at national level? In the same, the same consideration involved with level should be the same even at national level. So I want to re-emphasize the point that children should be children, they should be allowed to be, they should be allowed to make mistakes before they are ushered in position of authority. Thank you.
Thank you. So Jana, you have 3 minutes to question him, please.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, the connection is really poor, so I didn't catch much. But I saw that you're saying that if people have right to vote, they don't have. If people have right to be asked who they want to be their leader, actually, when you choose a leader, the definition of state is that people give their rights to someone else. So if they're old enough to decide that they don't want to use their right and give their right to someone else, how do you think that they don't have right to be asked, okay, maybe this one is not good enough to use my right. So maybe if they have right to give their rights to someone else, they also have rights to say, okay, he's not using my rights properly, and I will do that better. So I will candidate and prove to other people that I will use their rights better. Thank you.
Thank you. Ula? The last conclusions for each team.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I will now list some points that show the importance of equality between the age of voting and the age of candidacy. First, the fact that youth are trusted to have the sufficient mental abilities to choose a candidate who represent them is an indication that they indeed have the sufficient mental abilities to be a candidate who represents others of their ages. Moreover, this will engage them with the engage them with processes of decision making, which will raise their awareness towards the current political issues. In addition of that, age equality applies to the principles of democracy by names of giving the youth the freedom to vote at the age of 18, and in the same time limiting their freedom to become candidates until the age of 30, for example, is not what democracy represents. Furthermore, and within the 20th century, we can find many examples of young figures in prestigious positions where they successfully led their countries. For example, in 2013, the 16 years old Palestinian mayor named Bashir Othman governed her village for 2 months. Also, in 1952, King Hussein I, at the age of 16, became Jordan's king and governed Jordan with wisdom and intelligence for 47 years. At the end, we should ask ourselves, how could the youth have the suitable political experience without practicing and engaging with politics at a young age? We should trust their abilities and potential to be responsible. That's it. Thank you.
Amy?
Go ahead.
Okay, Amy, please.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, Arthur, go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, Amy, the mic with you. We can hear you.
I'm finding it hard. It's breaking up. I'm finding it hard to hear what anyone is saying. I hear my name, but I'm not sure what's being said.
Okay, it's to make the conclusion.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, please go ahead. We can hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me?
You can hear us?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
please.
apologize. I missed a significant portion of the key points, but I'm going to try my best to conclude. I think that this debate about candidacy is very complex because we cannot always equate age and maturity. We can't assume that someone that's 18 is mature, neither can we assume that someone that's 18 is immature. So that is what adds to the complexity of the issue. And also we risk marginalizing the youth if we take them out of the political debate. However, in conclusion, I believe that there are other ways to engage the youth other than allowing them to run for office at such an early age. I believe that there are other youth groups. There are other you can you can include them and have them volunteer in campaigns, have them engage in such a way that they can gain adequate experience before they they run for office, because it is a huge responsibility and it is, in my opinion, a huge risk. I understand that it is in their best interest to engage them in the political discourse. It is because at the end of the day, they are the leaders of tomorrow. But in my opinion, it is a huge risk to leave the matters of national security, to leave the matters of national economic development in the hands of, let's say, an 18-year-old. Because, I mean, there's a lot of ways of looking at it as far as the maturity argument is concerned. The younger people, they're more likely to be influenced. I mean, they're very impressionable right now as far as the way that they vote, let alone if you were to give them so much responsibility as having them run for office. So it's for me, my concern is an 18-year-old adequately prepared as far as knowledge is concerned? Is there adequate knowledge? Can I expect an 18-year-old knowledgeable enough to run for office, to represent me in parliament, to represent me as far as diplomatic issues are concerned? So, in conclusion, that's pretty much my conclusion from the little that I could gauge. That, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for you, Amy, and I would like to thank all the debaters here. Um, and I'm sorry for I'd like to apologize for the audience and for you, the debaters here, for the technical problems. It was amazing debate, and I'm so glad to have um, youth activists from different countries in this debate. And I would like to thank the World Youth Movement for Democracy too for support this kind of discussions online, because these discussions allow the people and the youth to have two the two perspective of the important topics in the field and in the development and democracy process. So thank you for everyone, and thank you for the audience here. And just I want to remind you before to remind you to vote for the debate topic. Don't forget to vote for the performance of the team. So see you in the next debate, and join us and see the other topics, and have a good time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.